Hi everybody, Ruben from Round Drum Channel once again, and today we are continuing with this great topic. But first of all, please hit the subscribe button and like it and leave comments if it helped you this video. That would be so amazing. The topic is, what are other musicians looking for in a drummer? Or what do they appreciate in their drumming skills? That is so important, thinking in the mind of other instrumentalists, other musicians, guitar players, singers, producers, bass players, very important. Why do they call you to get a gig? That's the most important question. I ask a lot of colleagues, musicians, why do you want to play with me? That's such an important question. I made a list of their most value answers. Last week I posted a lesson about groove and sound because that's almost number one. But on number 2 is the topic of today. And the subtopic today is, how soft can you play? And nobody wants to play soft. And that's very common because it's such a nice instrument to bang very loud. And I don't say something is better than the other way, because banging loud is also very important and very hard to do. And that's also a dynamic parameter. But we have so much more dynamic parameters than you think. And for me, the greatest example is in classical music. You have there very much different parameters for dynamics. You have pianissimo, they read it with a P, but you have double pianissimo and sometimes 3 double pianissimo. And then you have mezzo forte, and that's the area we all are playing in, always in mezzo forte. And then we have forte and double forte and 3 double forte and 4 double forte. So we have such a big range of dynamic parameters. And we usually have 2 modes. We have mezzo forte and forte. And I am inviting you to create more dynamic parameters and see how soft you play. And what I see so often in my students and in the drummers is when they are playing soft and try to play soft, they are holding back. So what you see is they get very tensed and start to, everything is blocked in their body and they hold back their force, and you see them playing soft like this. And that is not good for your groove, it's not good for your body. So I am suggesting in this lesson, and I want to learn with you and share with you, to play effortless soft. Play soft out of total relaxedness, letting everything go, and all your thoughts and all your tension in your body, and just play soft like this. And what do you see? What do you see when you watch me playing like this? So always goosebumps, tears, everything, because this is the real mastery of drumming, what you see here, man. His hands, when he plays small, everything, the movements, you have to watch this so much times. He is in control of everything. And that bass drum who doubles the accents, that is amazing. It's so hard to make that, to get that tight, especially the cross thing, your left hand and your right feet. That accent is so hard. This is one of the most difficult things I ever saw on drumming. He plays the crazy army thing and he goes on with the second part, but he builds that dynamics, you know. Once again, that's really small playing. See how small he starts. And watch that left hand. The small movements. A little bit bigger. You know, the push and pull. And a little bit bigger. You see the movement getting bigger. The arms are involved now. But everything comes out of the wrist and the fingers. And now the biggest one. Yeah, man. We all can go home now. Woo! Hi, a little commercial break. There's something new I want to introduce to you. There's a possibility to get one-on-one Zoom lessons with me, where we go in depth with all these topics. We can work on anything, studying, discipline. I can make practice schedules for you. I'm gonna be your personal coach. Also the mental side of drumming, I can help you with that discipline. Or just want to talk about Steve Gadd's technique and Steve Gadd's rudiments. I have a lot of experience as a drum teacher on the Conservatory of Amsterdam for 20 years. I had a lot of students and I helped a lot of new talent in Holland. Just go to my website, it's here, written here, and we can make some plans. Everything is so close to your drum set. So when I play a hi-hat, you know, you see 2 centimeters. I'm a European guy, so we're thinking in centimeters. Your snare, 2 centimeters. So you have to be able to play everything in a really small range. And the last lesson about groove and sound, that has to be still there. And that's the hardest thing, because a lot of people do 2 things when they start to play soft. The groove is gone, but they also drag the tempo. And when they want to play harder, the tempo is going up. So that's a really hard one you get to figure out. So I give you some tips how to play soft for this week's lesson. Then we go, of course, back to the last lesson. And if you remember the last lesson, here's the link to the last lesson if you didn't saw it already. The last lesson, we talk about the 4 strokes. We have the downstroke, the upstroke, the full stroke, and the tap. That are 4 amazing strokes. But now we combine them with dynamic parameters, and that is really hard. So can you play a full stroke, but in pianissimo? Can you play a downstroke, but in pianissimo, very soft? So instead of a full stroke is full to full from here to here, a full stroke is from here to here. And also with the left hand. One side note, I trained as a traditional drummer, but I can play also when I play louder, I play match grip. So sometimes I forget to do it in match, so you see, but it's the same. So here, left hand also, a full stroke. So a full stroke is from up till up. But how small can you make that full stroke with intention? That's really hard. And a downstroke, you stay down. And if you want to play soft, that downstroke is really the secret. The full comes from above and stays really near your skin. But how low can you do that out of relaxedness? That it's really close here. So there's not such much difference between a full stroke and a downstroke. Actually, for me, the downstroke is the main stroke. And the tap, that's a hard one. You really are so close. You hear it? You are so close. So how close can you get it? So you start practicing all your rudiments and paradiddles on this level. And you always forget that. And that reminds me when I was a student on the conservatory in The Hague, and I studied on the jazz department because there was no pop department or something, it was jazz. And I always practiced my jazz things in my practice room on a certain level. And I thought, that's soft. And then I came in the rehearsal room with my buddies with a grand piano, but not amplified, and with a large bass player, unamplified almost. And then I start playing at my practice level, and I thought, shit, it is way too loud. And then I really had to be urged to really play soft, and I couldn't do that. I always forgot how soft I had to practice. So I really had to play at this level when I played with sticks. But you have to keep on swinging, you know. So with your right hand, it's so difficult to keep up swinging when you only tap your right cymbal, you know. It's so hard to not tension up when you do that. So start practicing, do these things, but watch your body, feel your body, that's better. Feel that when it tenses up, start to relax. Totally relax. Yeah, and the next example for me, what's also amazing is my other hero. That's Mr. Brian Blade. And this example is so amazing because he was playing with a trio with the late Chick Corea in Amsterdam, in Holland, in the Concertgebouw. And the Concertgebouw, the most beautiful classical old hall we have in Amsterdam. And the acoustic are made for classical orchestras. And that is terrible for drummers. It amplifies your drum set with 1,000. You have to play so soft. I played there once. I couldn't use my sticks because I overpowered everything. The reverb came 20 seconds later back to me, man. But for classical music, it's the most beautiful acoustic there is on earth. And he has to play there with a piano trio. So you see here a video of somebody in the audience, and the sound is not so good. You can see how small he keeps everything. The distance is maybe this from his stick, you know, so his downstroke really stays here, you know. And it's so hard to play downstrokes like this and taps and upstrokes. It's the perfect technique, man. It's so soft, but it's not soft like holding back. It's soft out of pure relaxedness. This is so beautiful. So practice your rudiments, man. Then there is one exercise I invented. I'm so proud of it. My students love. They say, Ruben, that's the best exercise you ever gave me. And that's my famous, and my students start laughing when they see this video, my famous drum meditation. I had to give group lessons at 10 a.m. in the morning to 6 drummers on the Conservatory of Amsterdam. And we did the drum meditation and they loved it. Watch the drum meditation. And that's such an amazing exercise to learn to play effortless soft. when I starting to meditate, and now it's getting a little wooey, people said, Ruben, you're not relaxed at all. Maybe you have to try meditation. And I start to meditate. And to make a long story short, because that's a whole process on itself, I start to meditate. I suddenly see the parallels with when I was studying drums on my own. I always get frustrated. I always get angry on myself. I always get tense. And when I'm meditating, man, I'm still thinking. My thoughts are still there. I got the same energy. So I combined the two. I said to my students, we are playing the basic beat for 10 minutes. That's long because meditation for 10 minutes is also very long. And we don't think of anything, but you think of things, but you let it go. You play at your worst as possible. It don't give a bleep what you're doing. Let it all go. Start playing relax. Start playing soft for 10 minutes and see what's happening. How much time the voice came up in your head. Man, this is really stupid exercise. Man, this drumming is nothing compared to Steve Gadd and Brian Blade. You're such like this compared to that guys. Oh, you're dragging now. Oh, now I hear another drummer. He's dragging. Oh, yes, he's playing too loud. You focus on the other drummer. You focus on yourself and you really start to play like you're like this. And I'm going publicly suck now, and that is okay. Try to get more relaxed. Everything is relaxed. There's no effort in this at all. It's totally effortless. And you can do that for 10 minutes and record it. And you hear, man, that's not so bad at all. That's pretty okay. And then you can put always a little of effort in it. And these things are always inspired by the great drummers, and for me, Mr. Steve Gadd, because I'm sitting now a little bit like this because my camera view, I cannot make the camera more, so I have to, because when I sit straight, you don't see me. But Steve Gadd is always sitting like this also. Why? To make it effortless. When you see him play, it's effortless. And combined with a lot of technical skills, and that's really important, you can make your drums sound effortless. So the second exercise is technique. And then we go to the rudimental things. And that's maybe a little bit boring for you. But the next lesson I make about understanding rudiments and especially understanding the rudiment books. For example, the Wilcoxon books. And a lot of people open it and they see all that black things with notes and lines and they don't know what it means. And they're thinking, wow, I cannot read when you see a roll written out. What should I do when I see a roll? I don't know. But it is much easier than you think. You have to have a couple of guidelines and you can practice these rudimental pieces because it's so nice to practice this because it's music. Mr. Wilcoxon is a composer. He composed amazingly musical rudimental solos. So the musical aspect is in it. So you have two things in one. You practice your rudiment, but also phrasings and musical sentences and dynamics because he written out accents and not accents. And I always want to make rudiments practical for your playing. You don't want to be a rudimental drummer. You don't want to be something in the drum corps. That's nice, but you are another drummer. You're playing in bands. So you have to make the rudimental things translated to the band drummer. And that is so easy. So that's my next lesson. when you practice one of my favorite rudimental things, a flam tap they call, so that's a flam and a double, so it's a double stroke with flams. So you can see what's happening when you make it so close as possible, the tap so small. And the first one with the flam has a little accent. So feel when you do this, feel the bouncing, how much effort actually is needed to play this. Make it as effortless as possible. But it has to be intense, it has to be sounding nice, and it has to be having a flow. And when you're thinking, man, is that studying? Yes, that's the most important thing. And how slower, how harder. When you get slower, you get more anxious. There's more time to think. There's more time to get anxious. You have to relax always. That's always the sentence in your head. What is there? Relax, relax. That is. Do you have every movement under control? So for me, I always love to practice flams because that's such a nice technical skill. Because when you play them on different pieces of the drums, you hear what your hand is actually doing. So I play 3 notes after each other. So you practice like 3 notes with both hands. So it's not a double stroke actually, but it's a triple stroke somewhere if you have a little bit imagination. So flams is so good for your technical. All the flam rudiments are my favorite. And for me, the left hand accent is my backbeat when I play. And there's one little secret side note. How softer you play, how greater your drum sound. Listen, maybe you notice when I play so soft on this snare drum, how does it sound? Listen. When I play forte, totally different sound than this. Only thing is when you play soft, it needs a little bit more snare, otherwise you hear only the drum. And are my legs relaxed? I always feel tension, so focus on that. And when you see my feet, it's the same thing, you know. When I play soft, I play heels down. Because I'm a jazz drummer, I can play heels down. When we play jazz music, we learn to feather the bass drum. You know, the old jazz guys play jazz like this. So they play a 4 on the floor on the bass drum. Really soft, you know, like feathering it. So we learn to do that heels down. When I play loud, I play the Steve Gadd technique. But Steve Gadd is so nice, he plays also the soft notes like heel with his heel, you know? And that's so nice. But I do it heels down. And he has that walking, you know, that walking feet thing going on always. The heel toe heel, I call it more the tap dance, his own tap dance technique. So his heel is always the accent, you hear? It's the same with that flam. But when you want to play it loud, you can do 2 things. Now we have an open sound, you know, the beater is coming off. That's really much more low in your recording than like this. But that's also nice. There's no better way, and that's really important. When I play loud, I play with a lot of heel, like this. Or maybe I play really heels up. That are all the techniques I have to be able to play. From this pianissimo, triple pianissimo, to triple forte. You can do that. Playing really loud, man, that's so hard. Playing in the Foo Fighters band, man, that is so hard to do. To really give that energy, it's no better thing. My golden rule is never drumming louder than the singer. In rehearsal rooms, how much when my students practice with their bands in rehearsal rooms, I see the singer he has his throat. And the drummer, don't go down. You're destroying your singer. You have to be able to play softer. And don't take your brushes out and play with. That's not nice to do. Learn to play effortless soft. A lot of students of mine, when they play soft, they can play soft with their hands, but not with their feet. So I hear this. And especially when they play with brushes, that's also funny. But then I hear this. Because their feet, they cannot play their feet soft. It's so funny. And then you can play with dynamics. You can play it getting more interesting. When I talk to you right now, you hear me do a lot of, when you say, drumming is so great when you play effortless, But when I was talking like this, you put the video off. The drumming is really effortless. It's so important that drumming is effortless because musicians want that you want to play soft, and that's really important. You don't listen to it. It's the same articulation with your drum set. You know, dynamics, it's one of the most important things. Okay, I hope you liked this lesson. Let me know if it helped you and what do you think about dynamic. Learn to be a musician. That's my quote. Don't be a drummer, be a musician. And I see you next time.